everyone. Now we are going to discuss about public administration. Union government and administration. So my question number one is, the veto power of the Indian president is a combination of absolute, suspensive and pocket veto. Comment on that. So my answer will be the executive and the legislature are separate and independent from each other. The executive, not being itself responsible for the legislation, should properly have some control to prevent undesirable legislation. So from the standpoint of effect of legislation, executive vetoes have been classified absolute, qualified, suspensive and pocket. Even with the introduction of the parliamentary democracy, veto power has been incorporated in the constitution. Normally lies power with exercise only in case of private member bill. In the case of government bill, a situation may however be imagined where after the passage of bill and before it is assented to by the president, the ministry resigns and the next council of ministry commanding a majority in parliament advise the president to use this veto power against the bill. In such a contingency, it would be constitutional on part of the president to use this veto power even though the bill had been duly passed by parliament. If however instead of refusing his assent outright, the president remit the bill or any portion of for reconsideration, repassage of bill by an assent outright, the president remit the bill. Ordinary majority would compel the president to give his assent. The effect of the return by the Indian president is thus merely suspensive. Another point is that Constitution does not provide any time limit within which the president is to declare his assent or refusal or to return the bill. By reason of absence of time limit, it seems that the Indian president would be able to exercise something like a pocket veto by simply keeping the bill on his desk for an indefinite time, particularly if he finds the ministry is shaky and likely to collapse shortly. Next, the PMO is a salvation for any Indian Prime Minister, but concentration of power is danger to democracy. So the Indian Prime Minister occupy a position of exceptional and overwhelming authority and is for all purpose the real chief executive whatever the party in power, and whosoever has filled the post of Prime Minister. It has been observed that there has been a growing tendency towards centralization in decision making. Not only does a PM sometimes keep with himself an unduly large number of portfolio, but also informally exert his influence beyond those formally held portfolio. Broadly, the jurisdiction of PMO extend over all such subject and activity as are not especially allotted to any individual department. It functions like help the PM in the discharge of his overall responsibilities, and the chief executive including keeping liaison with the union ministry and the state government on matters in which PM may be intended to help the PM in the discharge of responsibility as a chairman of the planning commission. In contemporary time, PMO has become think tank, and the idea was to leave the PM from unimportant work so that he or she may get enough time on major policy decision by processing all proposals that are sent to him. However, the personality of PM is not strong enough. PMO may exceed in limitation and thus concentration of power may erode democracy. As things stand today, PM has to have a strong PMO. Yet it should only be a highly professional body and rendering free and fair advice to PM. Next question is, the Cabinet Secretariat provide the eyes and ear for the Prime Minister to keep in touch with process of official business in central government. In India, Cabinet Secretary advise the PM on whatever matter his choice is sought, such as the classification of subject, their grouping into suitable portfolio, allocation of particular among the ministry, or transferring subject department from ministry. While tendering this advice to PM, the Cabinet Secretary may also consult the other secretary. For this purpose, an institution arrangement exists in form of committee secretariat on headed by Cabinet Secretariat. So